This program is part of the Far South Border North initiative by the City of San Diego in partnership with regional collaborators, funded in part by the California Arts Council and the Conrad Previs Foundation. Hello, and welcome to Food for Life. I'm your host, Cathlyn Choi. Today, we will explore efforts by local farms, community organizations, and even schools to establish gardens to provide organic, healthy ingredients and create awareness about the importance of sustainability in our food cycle and ecosystem. That and more coming up next on Food for Life. Now, let's meet Chef Ron Oliver, who is the former chef de cuisine at the Marine Room in La Jolla. Chef Ron is now focused on preserving and promoting organic maize, or corn as we know it, one of the basic staple foods in Hispanic and Native American cultures. As Chef Ron explains, although maize is one of the oldest and most versatile foods in the world, it unfortunately has undergone several genetically modified changes and has lost many of its nutritional and health benefits.
So we're all gathered here today. We're trying to make a grassroots movement to really progress the agenda of real corn, because corn is the single most important food item in the history, the present, and the future of the Americas. And unfortunately, it's kind of been sidetracked, and it's grown and it's consumed in a way that's not really healthy anymore for the planet or for the people. So everyone that's going to be gathered in this room today is really part of the solution of reclaiming the culture and the traditions of real corn.
Mi nombre es Isabel Pedraza. Desciendo de una familia maicera en el estado de Veracruz, en México. Mi familia ha cuidado el maíz por más de 60 años. Es muy importante para nosotros el seguir cuidando y preservando todas estas semillas.
I kind of grew up in my young adulthood surrounded by this culture. So what the idea of this meeting is to get everybody between Imperial Beach and Oceanside that's involved in corn in some way, whether it be growing, farming, educating, consuming, and get us all together so we can network and become more of a grassroots community.
So I've been the executive chef, I think for the better part of 5 years now here at Tahona. We're trying to spread the word that, you know what, you actually haven't been eating like tortillas. You actually haven't been eating like real corn. This is a GMO thing that we mostly eat, and you know, I mean, it became affordable, so that's why it's accessible. And we're trying to do a little bit of work in rescuing and supporting those heritage seeds.
The sad part about this is that the better and more naturally grown the product, the more expensive it is. And that's the opposite of traditional communities, where the organic food is usually the more accessible food. So the goal for us would be to increase the supply, which would bring the cost down and make it more accessible. But the other goal would be to have the corn accessible, this type of corn accessible for people to purchase, and also use it to cook with and make their own tortillas, which is the way it's done traditionally.
Ron and Isabelle also recently held an event in Imperial Beach to explain the process of making tortillas from masa made with all natural corn.
What we're doing really is kind of reconnecting people with their roots. This process may look difficult or complicated, but it's something that's been done in thousands and thousands of households throughout Mexico for hundreds of years. And it's really pretty easy, and it's even a lot easier than making bread, and it's something that's been done every day, right? So, but we heard one person say they watched their mom do it, they watched their grandmother do it, but they don't know how to do it anymore. So them getting reconnected with their past and their roots and their traditions is what this whole event was about. So it was a great success to hear that story. The takeaway today is, one, is that the people can know where to find masa that's made the right way from real corn, but also that they can make it at home themselves by using the real corn and the real processes.
I am here just because I wanted to learn how to make tortillas. That's something I've always wanted to learn. And my experience has been great. They explained it very well. They gave us the history of what it was. And then I actually got the tortilla on my first try, so it was a great experience. I loved it, yes. It's actually very good. It's very soft. It's like obviously when you go to a store, a market store, you could taste the difference. This one's just very soft. It's very texturized, and the tortilla itself is very flavorful.
Paul Maschka is a local farmer and educator who grows non-GMO maize for his crop, providing a healthier alternative to commercially grown corn. Ron and Isabelle meet Paul at his urban farm in National City to discuss the farm's importance to the local community, share his philosophy about the land as a precious resource, and learn about his efforts to educate others about sustainability.
Hi, my name is Paul Maschka. I teach down at a nonprofit farm school in Imperial Beach. It's in San Diego. They call it the regenerative farming school that we teach a number of different courses there. The main ones is like a farming 101, and it focuses on all the different small scale methods that people could grow food or farming. I also farm in Chula Vista, and it's a small farm called the Farmer's Shadow Project, and the focus is to grow ancient varieties of crops that some are going extinct or some are getting very rare, and they're ancient varieties of plants that have been grown all over the world, and I'm just one of the many growers that are trying to preserve these old varieties of foods that were created by our ancestors, that they basically built all of the civilizations on this planet with these foodstuffs that they created thousands of years ago. You know, we all come from different places, and we had traditional foods, and it's in an effort to kind of relearn them and help to save them. So yeah. I grew up here recognizing that this is a staple crop. And when it's prepared in the ancient ways, it's just an incredible thing. So this is the chapalote I grew last year in the other patch, and this is the same seed that was all planted here. And there's a few spaces that are open, and they're still young enough we could plant. But you take a look at these.
Nice, thank you.
It's a really interesting, dark, brown, shiny corn.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Look at that. It's really unique. You don't see too many corns that look like this.
Yeah.
It's really rich flavored. Has all kinds of uses.
So when you select the seed for planting, you want to go towards like the middle?
Yeah, normally kind of this zone right in here. Mm-hmm. And you know, as long as it's just a good, solid, big, thick kernel, you don't want to really perpetuate these smaller genetics. But yeah, somewhere normally around in the middle. So this could be deep in the soil, and it has the energy to come through the soil. If it was a tiny seed like a poppy or a lettuce seed, it needs to be right on the surface because it can't move the soil particles or the soil away from it. So this will be able to just push up through the soil, and it just gets covered. And that'll be a small patch. At least 2 or 3 of them will come up. And those are probably from my cob, yep. And then this is another open space that you can kind of plant right there. Yeah.
3.
Yep, like 3.
Okay.
These will come with me. Yeah. And then just cover it up and tamp it down. Here's an open space right here. That could be another spot to put like 3 more seeds in there. And that happens on occasion. It helps some that didn't make it. And these will catch up if you catch it within a couple of weeks. No, not a big deal. They'll catch up.
And then we could take these home and make some tortillas.
Yep, definitely.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure. Cool. Right on.
That'll be the first time we ever made masa out of
Oh, good.
chapalote.
I think you'll like it.
Nice.
Yeah, for sure.
Operated as a nonprofit by the Resource Conservation District of Greater San Diego County near Imperial Beach, Wild Willow Farms has also been cultivating and empowering sustainable food communities in San Diego since 2010. It serves as a role model in providing the South Bay community with opportunities for sourcing locally grown organic ingredients, volunteer programs, and food education.
Wild Willow opened its gates in 2010. It was originally under the umbrella of San Diego Roots Sustainable Food Project, and in 2019 it transferred to the management of the Resource Conservation District of Greater San Diego. We are in a really unique spot in California. In San Diego, we're right on the edge. I call it the final frontier before you get to Mexico. Right behind the mountains that are around us is the Tijuana border. So it's a really unique place. It's a really special place that is, our mission is to inspire, to empower people to be a part of their local food system and to really take an active role in creating a more sustainable environment for everybody. One of our most unique programs, it's the only adult farm school in all of San Diego County. It's an 8-week program that teaches anyone interested in regenerative farming from the beginning, how to tend to the soil, to how to create a profitable farm business. So the style or the technique of farming that we utilize here is regenerative farming. Regenerative farming places a big focus on tending to the soil, taking care of the soil microbes. One of the more practical ways that we do that or implement that is by doing no-till. That means that we're never turning the soil as that disturbs the microbes in the soil. We're adding a lot of fresh manure, a lot of fresh compost into our piles, into our beds, so that we, again, are regenerating the soil and help feed the microbes that are in the soil.
I've been volunteering at the farm for about a year now, a little over a year, and that was my initial interest. And I'm really interested in kind of the intersection of health and food. I think that's a pretty big deal these days. And working here on an organic regenerative farm is pretty sweet because we don't use any pesticides, fertilizers, herbicides, no chemicals, and I think that that's going to be super important to the future of food.
I got into agriculture because I have family down in Mexico that I practically learned from, and I just got into it because I had to do an internship, and I chose a farm that I didn't know existed here, and I've been living here all my life. I love that I could learn how to grow from seed to harvest. It's just fascinating to see like a little seedling go into a fruit or a vegetable that I could then cook with and know that I actually grew this.
Our food goes currently to Food Shed, which is a farmer-owned cooperative that's based out of City Heights. I believe there's over like 10 farmers that participate, and Food Shed is an amazing project that makes local produce accessible to communities that otherwise might not have the awareness about how to buy local or where to buy local. So it's a really cool project, and we're really happy to be a part of it. So we are open every second Saturday of the month to volunteers, and we sometimes have anywhere from like 30 to 60 people. We have people that come from all over San Diego, from children to adults to elders that are just interested in being on a farm. I've had a really beautiful conversation with some elders that came a few weeks ago that a lot of them come from families that have roots in agriculture, and us living in the city, we're so disconnected from it. So I really think it gives people the opportunity to be a part of agriculture and to feel like, oh, this is what it's like, especially for children that grow up in urban spaces that might never set foot on a farm otherwise, or only see it on movies or in films and, I don't know, books or magazines.
I've lived here my entire life. I went away for college and then I came back May of last year after I finished school, and I wanted to get involved in the food system locally in my community. I'm from about 15 minutes away from the farm, and so I care deeply about the community and the space that it holds, and I wanted to be able to support that. And so I volunteered here at Wild Willow for several months, and then they had a job posting for an education coordinator. And I said, you know what, why don't I just go for it? And I ended up getting the position, and I've been working here for the last 9 months, and it's been wonderful seeing our connection to the people that we help to serve and feed.
By engaging our youth in their early years in learning about the importance of our food ecosystem, including the process of seeding, growing, and harvesting foods, as well as composting that protects our natural resources and environment, they can have a better awareness and understanding of the critical role that food plays in our everyday life while encouraging healthier eating habits.
The Second Chance Youth Garden was cultivated 10 years ago as preventative measures to help youth ages 14 to 21 have access to opportunities, really to give job development skills in a fun way through gardening and get them connected to their community. They also learn to cultivate some mental health strategies and camaraderie. We have cooking classes, so we break bread together, and we really learn how to support each other and have a safe space, a safe green space to regulate the nervous system and really set the youth up to be healthy leaders.
I've been here for 6 weeks, and we learned how to properly prepare beds for plants and feed them certain type of vitamins they need to grow. I've been having fun, even though it's a lot of hard work, but the outcome is good because we get to eat what we plant.
This is kale. This is cilantro. This is mustard, and this is collard greens. We harvest them and wash them. We're gonna sell it to community members.
Overall, the success of the program really is in how the youth become healthy leaders. They get to see them get their first job, to feel supported, to come to the garden and say, the only place I really feel at ease or without anxiety is when I come here, and to feel supported and to see them thrive when they leave this program. One youth stated that, oh, you just don't, you grow healthy produce, but you also grow healthy people. And I thought that was so applicable because the biggest success is seeing the youth healthy and thriving. To see that in such an urban setting, the youth and adults as well, who can come volunteer, can really get their hands in the dirt and to grow things and taste the healthy food they're growing was rewarding for me. And it's something that I knew I wanted to be part of.
Hunger can be hard to recognize, but it is all around us. It can affect anyone, including children, seniors, and especially low-income families. Hundreds of thousands of people in San Diego County also face food insecurity. Essentially, someone who is food insecure does not consistently have enough food to lead a healthy life. The effects of food insecurity ripple throughout people's lives, causing high levels of stress, chronic health issues, and even disease. We can help our community thrive by breaking the food insecurity cycle.
I am the co-bilingual outreach coordinator for Suncoast Market Cooperative. Suncoast Market is a cooperative market, just like any other grocery store, except that our owners are our residents. We just wanted a grocery store in our community. We wanted to have access to healthy food, to organic food, to local farms, and we didn't have it. And so we started working towards that goal. So one of the things that we knew was very important in this project was making sure that our Latino community, our other BIPOC communities were part of the process. And so because we have such a large population of Latino residents, we wanted to start promoting healthy workshops, and they're engaged in this process of changing the health of our community, right? Where does our food come from? What local farms are we working with? In an ideal world, our community is going to be very educated and knowledgeable about what those things are, but also leading efforts to change health in our community, given the high rates of food-related illnesses in the South Bay and really across the country. So.
The Kroger Zero Hunger, Zero Waste initiative. Zero Hunger, we're all about feeding those communities in need. Last year alone, we donated over 23 million meals to those communities where you find a lot of food insecurity, either with donations, direct product, or contribution to some of those institutions that provide for those communities. Our Zero Waste, all of our stores in our system, whatever product isn't used or produce is not used, comes back to our headquarters in Compton, and we're able to produce energy from that alone as well too. So there is no waste at all. So every single store in our system donates produce or donates food, whether it's a food bank, a food pantry, or a local nonprofit that serves the community. We help with donating product. We also donate resources to help operational costs. Ultimately, the food bank will distribute to a lot of the local schools that are much in need. So we're able to monitor how many pounds we gave away, what the monetary value is as well. Over 500 schools in San Diego County are under Title I funding through California. That helps with funding for food in those insecure areas where children might need that extra food, that extra nutrition to get through their day. We have a lot of resources that we can help with those communities, especially for those communities that are much in need, and there's a lot of food insecurity. So we are a committed partner to Zero Hunger, Zero Waste.
I think in my community, the biggest barrier is probably like the majority of our income has to go to housing and transportation, and working longer hours to barely cover, housing on a monthly basis, I think contributes to having to access fast food, having to access, limited meals a day, or only having enough for like one meal or 2 meals per day at the most. I think that's been the biggest barrier that I've seen. My family, my whole life, we've used pantries, free to the public. We've utilized, in times of like really dire need, we've used CalFresh, especially for like the younger kiddos who need access to like WIC and getting all those nutrients that they need. So I would say that, yeah, the housing is a big barrier to those kinds of things, and living in an affordable area, trying to make it gets harder to access quality and healthy food.
I'm Sam Duke. My title is Director of Programs. I oversee our distribution network and all the food moving out into the community through our distribution center. In San Diego, more than 350,000 people face hunger. So Feeding San Diego is here to help solve that problem. Through our distribution model, anyone in need can access food resources. So food insecurity just means that people don't know where their next meal is coming from, whereas hunger is the sensation of not knowing where your next meal is going to come from. We work with volunteers ages 6 and over, so youth can come out, learn about hunger, connect with our mission, and volunteer along our food sorting shifts. We connect every person facing hunger with nutritious meals by maximizing food rescue. Food rescue is a really unique program where we work with retailers all over the county, connect them directly with our partners, and they're able to go capture food that is short-dated, still safe for consumption, and get it right out to their community members in need. So of all the food we distribute, more than 92% is food rescue. Unique to Feeding San Diego is we have an on-site marketplace where community members from all over San Diego, but predominantly the Mira Mesa community, can come shop for free, pick up groceries to help supplement their groceries. We not only work with that community, we work with veterans, seniors, we have youth that come in, college students, and all families in between. So on our website, feedingsandiego.org, we have a great feature called the Find Food Map. On the Find Food Map, you can enter your zip code. It'll narrow down to that community and share resources available to you where you can get groceries free of charge.
We hope you enjoyed our exploration into San Diego's diverse farm ecosystems and that you can visit one of the many local farms around San Diego County to learn more about our essential food ecosystem. So, until next time on Food for Life, stay healthy, San Diego.